Hi y'all, it's Bohemia with Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart Readings. What's up, Divine Rebels? We're here. I'm filming this very early in the morning again. If I'm in my channel right now, I'd probably call it 4 a.m. Mama. Because that's when I get time to myself and when I have time to do readings nowadays. But this reading, as you've probably seen from the thumbnail and everything, the title, is Spirit Guides. So how I go about doing a collective spirit guide reading, which can be a lot, is I, sit with my guides, my ancestors, I'm sorry, I'm so tired, my guiding spirits, and I say, all right, this is the reading I'm going to do. I want it to be accurate. So I ask the spirit guides who want to come through for the collective reading, who are going to have their people come to this reading, to kind of group up with those who have similar messages or who have a similar energy. And that's usually one and the same because, you can connect kind of with people who have a similar vibe, and that's because your spirits, their spirit, everything kind of sync up. And so we got, and it, it went very well, and I had a lot of fun, and some of y'all's guides are hilarious. I don't want to give too much away before you pick your deck here, because I don't want to influence anybody's reading, but y'all have some funny guides, some of y'all, and some of y'all have some very serious, they ain't trying to play around, they don't want to chit chat. Boom, here's my message, that's it. So it was a fun read. So the options we have here today, we have a whole stack of cards. There's a whole lot of cards that wanted to come out, and just a fun way to connect. So we have Aventurine here on the first deck, number 1, and they wanted me to use numbers and not letters this time. We have number 2, which is Kambaba Jasper, and we have number 3, which is Cinnabar. Alright, a tumbled cinnabar, so it's okay if you touch it versus like the raw. Can't do that because it has like the mercury in it. Okay, so go ahead and pick your deck. At the end, we do have a collective reading for everybody, a collective message from all the guys and what came out there. So stay tuned for that. And please like, share, subscribe. If you feel like this would resonate with someone else's spirit that send them a link. Or if you're not sure, you think maybe, see if it's meant for them, and they can see if it connects with them or not. And I really appreciate all of your comments and your subscriptions and everything. And I just want to say, sometimes my YouTubes notify me. I have like different apps for like the studio, and like when you're a YouTuber and stuff, there's different ones. And sometimes I get tons of notifications that I'm getting comments, but I can't see them on YouTube. So if I ever don't respond, or like I try to at least give everyone a heart or something, please just know that that's probably the case, and I apologize. I don't know why YouTube does that, but just like sometimes we don't get notifications from our favorite channels, sometimes I do get a notification of a comment, but I can't see the comment anywhere on any of my devices, or different ways of accessing the platform. So I do apologize for that. Alright, so now hopefully you've had enough time to pick your group and to sync in with your spirit guides and ask them, okay, which one did y'all talk through? Which podium did y'all use? And we're going to go ahead and get into it, okay, with group number 1. And that is, let me move these out of the way, that is those of you who connected with the Aventurine or just the pile. And you can connect however you want, by the way. Some readers tell you, like, you can't go by the number every time, you can't go by the stone. I'm like, calm down, people are grown, they know how they connect to piles, okay? So here is a close-up on your juicy Aventurine, like a little Aventurine pill. Aventurine connects with Sagittarian energy, very jovial energy, and that fit y'all's guides. Let me tell you, your guides were a trip. They had so much character, they were fun, they were like music, I want to connect to music. So if you watch those who picked number 2s, their guides were just like serious. They were like, nah, we don't really have to connect through music. Okay, you doing songs for each of us, okay, whatever. Like they had a very kind of Virgo energy, number 2, but y'all's had like very, I could see definitely very Sagittarian, very buoyant, very funny, and they also felt like the closest to human energy as far as very much having personalities and kind of relating to like the slang and the flow of how we do things down here. So they just felt very hip, very fun, like in on the reading, and so I really enjoyed channeling in for y'all's guides. So hopefully that will help you connect if you haven't already with yours, and just I feel like your guides are definitely ones that you can go to them like without all all the ceremony and stuff, and just, you know, connect with them, like, hey girl, what you know, what, so what's this? You know, and they have that connection, because that's how they really talked and connected. They were just really down to earth, really fun, and they definitely wanted me to let you know that they really speak to you through music, like they feel it, that's their jam. So just so that you know. All right, so let's get into these cards. Let's switch hands. Master of Orbs, which is the Ace of Swords, and if you want to see the decks, I have them below. I'll have them linked. We have the Six of Cups, the Six of Wands. We also have another Eight of Swords reversed, and it's so funny because whenever I read with more than one tarot deck, that always happens where I'll get the upright and the reversed of the same card, and I just think that's so interesting. We have the Golden Crown. This is from an oracle. We have Worlds Within Worlds, which is like a golden planet, which is cool. So off the back, we definitely have Aquarian and Leo energy. And of course, we had mentioned Sagittarian. We have Air Guardian. This is a card that shows their energy. And they did have that very, yeah, I would say the energies from this group are very Sag, Leo, Aquarius, and Gemini. Is like kind of the vibes of your spirit guides that came through. If we were to equate them to what we know. Oh, release your ex. It looks so dramatic too, huh? Free yourself. Let your friends help you. What song? They gave you Try Again by Aaliyah. See, they cool. You got some cool guides. Now the obstacles, we have love, true love and fidelity. And they gave us the Black Cat, your luck will soon change. So not lucky in love is what they're saying. That there hasn't been some luck in love. But look at, they had connection, and then look at all that music around. So they're like, man, they want to guide you, and they talk to you so much through music. They love music. So I'm just going to kind of put these around. I got a lot of cards this time. Creativity. So they like, we're like, no, seriously. Like, we connect creatively to you. We have Full Moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. They just have, they're so fun. Like, they have a fun energy. And there is no birth that is not bloody. We have the butterfly card here. And we have a message. I allow people to witness their behavior so I can help them move beyond it. So really what they were talking about is, you know, they're like, they want you to have fun, be living your life, your best life, but they also know like that you having this openness that you do to yourself and wanting to include everybody and kind of be open to every lesson and every kind of possible chemistry and soulmate and everything, that it can really make you feel unlucky in love basically sometimes and hit some duds. Like, you could really hit some duds. It's kind of like the energy of like, you know, going to the casino or, you know, something like that, where it's like sometimes you're hot and everything's, you know, going well for you, and sometimes it's just like abort mission. Abort mission immediately. Phone a friend. Like, get me out of this situation. Like when you're dating someone and you're like, you give your friend the signal to call you and pretend they have an emergency so that you can leave and like get out of there. So I feel like that happens a lot with you guys. You try to, you know, connect with others, and then you're like, oh no, this is not where it's at. Like, I need to go. This is not living my best life. Why? What did I get myself into? You know, so, but then sometimes you kind of go out of the frying pan and into the, what do they say? Out of the boiling pot and into the frying pan, or whatever that phrase is, right? From the rock to the hard place, right? From one uncomfortable situation to the next. And but the past kind of really holds on with you, and you take it with you. So you're kind of, it's like you bounce back. And so you might be someone who like dates a lot or moves quickly through life, so others think that you don't carry as much baggage as you do, but you do really actually carry that on. And your close friends will know that, because your close friends are like, oh my gosh, like you're being so dramatic, like you're so melodramatic, you know, you're holding on to all of this, just let it go, like, you know, you got this stuff that you can bounce back. And so it's kind of this strange energy where you're very upbeat, very hopeful, like you just have such a positive, infectious, like you probably have a great laugh, you know, and just a curious energy. But sometimes, you know, and for some of you it might just be that one ex or that one misconnections that really hangs on with you, that you kind of trouble yourself about and go back over and over and over. So what we have here is for those people that are just like, you know, they're your ex, you've done it and done it again, you've tried it and tried it again. They're saying that, you know, you really, this person has to learn to rebirth themselves, right? There is no birth that is not bloody. And you can't be positive enough for another person to save them if they're not in that place, you know? So this is, what do your spirit guides, you know, say about this love connection. So if you have a particular love connection, or if you are just trying to, you know, renew and refresh yourself to get back out of there. So we have the energy to need to like kind of cut off with the King of Swords reversed some mentalities that we have that are not the healthiest, or even some connections that have been, you know, friends or things, or we could have people kind of categorized in the wrong groups, right? So you might be like, oh, this person's a soulmate, like a love soulmate. And Spirit's like, nah, they're a friend. They're a friend soulmate. Let's just put them. And then you're like, no, they're a love soulmate, Spirit guides. And they're like, no, they're a friend soulmate. You know, so they're kind of going back and forth on some of these things. But there's definitely the energy that there are certain people that are just meant to be friends, and they're meant to be good friends. Like, you should be someone who has a lot of friends around. And if you're not there quite yet, don't get discouraged, because that just means you're, you know, waiting to hit that right group of people. But you have such an energy of friendship around. People probably come to you and see you as a friend, and you're like, why are you talking to me like that? I'm not your friend. But to others, they're just like, you seem like such a good friend. Like, they just want to, they feel like they can just talk to you or invite you to things, you know? But yeah, there is a need to kind of reevaluate some of the past relationships and just let that energy go if it didn't work out, because your spirits might have meant to just meet on a different level. And it's kind of hard, because right now in our society, it's like if we connect with someone, they have to be like a sexual or love relationship kind of thing. And I think that it's, you know, very okay for you to just be friends with somebody. Now, these readings are very open. Everybody on the relationship gender spectrum of consenting adulthood is allowed. So I will say some of you might even relate more to being asexual, or just not like, it's not, you just not focus so much on romance or the sexual part of the relationships. And that's very much acknowledged here. And you're very much encouraged to just have the type of relationships that you value. You don't have to be, you know, forced into traditional relationships or think that something is wrong with you because you don't relate to that. Some of you, you're like, I just do me. Like, I'm creative, I'm spiritually powerful, I love my friends, I love my family, like, you know, I love children, but none of that traditional romance kind of stuff, that's just not my jam. That's not my, you know, it's just not meant for me. And so this, for those of you who that resonates with, is just your validation and support that that's okay. That's a spiritual path. That is a way of existing and thriving and living that's beautiful too. And you don't have to feel like you are, you know, missing something out from your soul growth, or, you know, that it's weird or anything like that. So I just want to put that in there. Now, for those of you who know that you're, you know, in this romantic relationship or pursuit with a person, and that you're just having some difficult times because something came up between you, there is good energy for bouncing back. So if you guys are really good, or if this is with your spouse, or, you know, it's a healthy relationship with you guys, and you do both have, you know, mutual energy that is more than friends and connecting here, you have the song Try Again with Aaliyah. Now, the message from the guides is still that you need to let the other person do the work, okay? They need to work for the relationship and for you just as much as you do, right? So we're talking an equal balance here. Now, that doesn't mean, well, I take out the trash because that's what I do for someone I love, so you have to. Doesn't mean like that, right? Different signs, different energies have different things that they champion as being the most important, right? A Sagittarius and a Virgo will have a lot of differences dating because they express things differently, right? But this is about making sure that you're both giving in to the relationship. And the thing that I love about Try Again with Aaliyah, that's like my anthem when someone's trying to date me, right? Because they're talking about, she's saying like, you don't know who I'm gonna be on any given day. You know, however you might come at me and how I'm gonna be, you have to keep trying again until it gels up, until it sinks in. So don't get discouraged if it's a healthy relationship, you know the vibe is good. This is just saying, you know, keep trying. Be, you know, have courage to work for each other. Be okay with letting that person work for you without being afraid that they're gonna run away or you're not going to get them. You know, freedom is the way that you connect with your soul person and your relationships, because it's Aquarius energy, Sag energy, even Leos, they like to go and do their own thing. They really do. They like to go and just chill, and then when they're ready, they come and they socialize and they get the attention and stuff, but they really have a solitary streak to them sometimes. And so this energy here is very much that. It's like, let yourself truly connect with your partner out of your free will. So if you try to come at them like, well, you're my twin flame, so we gotta da-da-da, like, they're not gonna hear that. I mean, like, curiosity, they might be cool about, like, interested about the philosophy behind it and stuff at a certain point. There's a little Scorpio energy here, so there might be a little bit, but mostly for you and your soulmate, like, probably if someone came to you that way that you weren't yet aware how interested you were to them, you would be like, oh, this is weird, what do you do, this energy's pushy, like, what is this, back off. And so that's the same way that, you know, people that you're attracted to will feel. And so if you just look at it as like, man, we're some awesome souls, we have good chemistry and good connections, and we get to choose at every moment what our contract will be with each other, what our connection is, how much and how deep we want to go into this thing and honor it, and think of it more as like, how much do we want to discover this gift or unfurl this talent that we have for each other's souls. That will go a lot further and it will be a lot better. Now, I want to go back to this message here that says, I allow people to witness their behavior so I can help them move beyond it. It is saying to stay in a compassionate place, right? You have a lot of compassion, you have a lot of foresight, and you also have enough space in your energy that you know how to love people from a distance and with spaces. So it's reminding you, they're reminding you here of that talent that you have. And some of you might not have developed that as much as others, but a lot of you, particularly if you have Aquarius or Sag in your chart, you'll know that, you'll understand that need to kind of break away and have your own space to grow and thrive and not be boxed in. And with that gift, you can allow people to, like, okay, we interacted, there's some stuff you need to work on, that's your stuff, maybe I have some stuff that's my stuff, so we're gonna, you know, have a pleasant pause between us. It's not a break of energy, it's not a rejection, and I'm gonna let you see your behavior and reflect on this, and then we're gonna come back and try again. And so it's a very healthy thing. And so some of you, that's really what you're learning. You might be like, oh my God, that's so hard. It's so hard. You know, how do I do that? And that could be what the key has been in this, in your past relationships. I almost said your past lives. So for some of you guys, it is your past lives. All right. Now this is Leo energy, especially if you have Leo energy in your chart or Scorpio. It can be very hard for you to like detach and allow the other person to grow and trust that they will choose to still be with you and connect with you that way. And there are a few Capricorns too. We have a Leo energy here and I just felt a Capricorn vibe. But it's very important. Yeah, so look at your past lives and your astrology. If you do, you know, going into journeying or doing readings or things like that, there might be some similar themes of that. The fear of letting someone get too far from you, the fear of letting someone travel or be from a different like country or culture, and you get so afraid of that space in the relationship that instead of filling all that space with love and having a huge energy field bubble of love with this person, you let fear fill all of that space between you and that person, and it breaks the connection. So we want to, you know, kind of reverse that trend there. Yes, so the obstacle they're helping you remove those, if you needed to know, is being lucky in love and just having some good luck in general. The black cat energy is powerful, right? That's some good lucky energy right there. And the love card here, and that heart of gold, keeping that heart of gold, and again, just seeing it as, okay, let's try again. Now, some of you, this is going to be with different people as you're dating, to keep up that confidence of just trying again, going back at it, and not seeing it as a cosmic no. There's definitely not a cosmic no here. You have the, look, you got the torch, you're going to win. You have the Six of Wands there, Six of Flames, and here we have the reminder to look at the big picture. Right? So if the guys are telling you no, or if something goes wrong with the relationship, you just try to sit and evaluate, okay, is this, we need to try again, and I need to learn something, and be patient with actually working out, you know, and troubleshooting in my relationship. Or if it really is an ending, or a, oh no, oh no, honey, this is not the one, you know, it's not a cosmic no, it's just a, oh no. And then you try again, and you go out and you pursue and you connect. All right, let's look at this creativity card. You got the Ice Cream Sundae. It says, unleash your creativity and open your mind to positive energy, and the things around will start to fall into place. Ooh, look, we got some tips. They said, join an art class, redecorate your home, update your wardrobe, or change your career so you may feel freer to live your own life in your own creative style. Creativity comes naturally to me. I am open to new ideas and concepts. I enjoy the satisfaction that comes with my creativity. All right, and you know what, this could over here could really be one of those, like, you know, wine painting classes, or like meeting someone while you're out like in salsa class or something like that. So for those of you who are like, where am I gonna meet them, or like what should we do on a date, that would probably be it. All right, and we have just the golden crown, stepping into your power, being okay with shining that light out, being okay with being seen and having the attraction and energy that comes from others without feeling like you're going to be disempowered, or that others going to take you over, or that it's going to get out of your control. And you know, being able to really see, you really can see like the best in people, and that's why it's healthy for you to have a sense of space and distance from them, so that you can remember that the universe will answer them. You don't have to save everything about a person. The universe also loves that person and will help them figure out their tasks and things that they need to. So just give them that time to reflect, but still be compassionate and holding them in that energy that you are helping and aiding them, but you know, it's in that friend energy. Let your friends help you, and you still free yourself within that dynamic and that relationship if it gets unhealthy. With the Air Guardian too, your guides really like you to talk. They want to shoot the breeze with you. They want to come in and just chill with you, and they definitely have been with you for a very long time, since childhood. And you know, they just, I don't know, I feel like they ride with you. We have the King of Swords. They're ready to go. They're ready to talk. They connect with you a lot on creativity and love. And it's just a good vibe. I really enjoyed your reading. So I hope that resonated with you. Please drop any comments or observations or synchronicities down below if you'd like to share. And I'm going to go on to the letter, oh, nope, number 2. It was number 2, and you were number 1, and they said doing the numbers was important. So if you've been seeing, you know, 111 or 1111, then it could definitely be your guides, because they were like, no, do numbers. We want to connect to them with numbers. Alright, all these cards to clean up. And I'll leave these bits in. Some people like the therapeutic feeling of watching a whole video and the little process and things like that. So I'll leave this part in, and I'll just do the, you know, 2 sets of jump numbers with a timestamp for, you know, the part where I'm talking around, and then the part where the reading actually starts. And hopefully that will be okay with everyone. All right, number 2, for those of you who chose the Kambaba Jasper, this is a very beautiful, very shamanic stone. It's amazing if you do journey work, or you know, want to be able to go in to do soul work. It's a great one to do. Number 2, you guys had the serious as hell guides. Like, I swear they were Virgos or something. Like, they were just like meh, meh, meh. Like they were just kind of like eyeing the guides in group 1, like, y'all doing too much. Like, this isn't a party, we're just doing a reading, calm down. I was just cracking up. They were just like, boom, here's my answer. Like, do we have to do music? So if you hear you know, different readings and you're like, I don't know why they're doing all these songs all the time, like, that doesn't matter to me, I don't connect with that. That could be why, because your guys were just like, what songs? Okay, fine. You know, they had that very detached, yeah, star energy, a little bit Aquarian, very Virgo kind of energy. Okay, so this is to see, what do your guides think about this romantic connection, or you know, their advice, or if you're going into the dating world, you know, what is their advice on that? And let me just, I got a lot of cards, y'all, so I'm just going to flip all these over for you. I apologize, it is a bit darker because I'm doing this at 4 in the morning. Mama's got to do it when Mama can get to it. All right. All right, all right. So definitely the theme with your guys' reading was a lot of release. Some of you, and I can see why they were being more serious, because they had some very serious messages. For some of you could definitely have had the breaking apart of a family. We have the 3 of Swords with the 10 of Cups reverse, and the Karma card, which is Judgment. We also have the 8 of Cups here. We have the Dagger. It is reversed, but we do have the Dagger. We have Raw with the Chocolate card. So just very intense cards here in a lot of ways. And we have the Silver Waterfall, an Oracle card, reversed. So really needing an energy cleansing. So we'll talk about all of these things. We have what do you need to release, and the Waning Moon. It is currently the Waning Moon. But we do have some cards of hope too. So first of all, You know, I'm very sorry for anyone who's going through pain or, you know, trauma and just really tough times right now. I definitely, like I said, do see some things. Now, for some of you, this could actually be losing a family member. For some of you, it could just be a split in the family, or, you know, a divorce, something that has broken the family apart in some way so that it's not, you know, whole. For some of you, you've been carrying this burden for a long time, because we have the 8 of Cups. So for 7 cups worth, you were carrying this burden, and now you might have finally tried to release it, or just acknowledge maybe it happened with your own family when you were younger. Or for some of you, I even get maybe you were like an older child divorcee of parents, like your parents divorced. Maybe you were in high school or college, and so it might seem stranger to you to try to process that, because they're still your parents, so it feels very damaging. But you're not as young, so you might feel like there's not as much kind of social gratuity to experiencing that, and patience with you trying to figure that out and recover from it. So here, though, we do see that you are getting to the point that you are ready to kind of go back to the cosmic drawing board and think about, you know, I feel like a lot of you are on the precipice of like, should I cut this connection off? Is it okay to? Is it safe to cut this connection off? Is it wrong to? So the answer is yes. So I definitely want to teach empowerment. We can always go and say, you know what, this is my biggest soulmate of my biggest soulmates, but it is not healthy right now, or it is unwanted for me to stay connected to this person, and I want to release our contract for this lifetime. That is absolutely something that you can do, and we have your guides here present and bringing this forward to you in a reading in a very serious way to let you know that that is valid. You don't have to carry that burden. This also goes for those of you who want to, you know, divorce your parents spiritually, or whatever connection that you had that was toxic in your family. And as a matter of fact, since it's coming up in this reading, it might be very vital in order for you to find a romantic relationship that's stable to do so. Again, some of you, this is going to be a partner from the past, or an ex, or someone that you thought you could build a family with, that it might have started off, or maybe you didn't even get off the ground and it didn't happen. So this, you know, general reading, there's so many different possible scenarios, but you'll know what it is that is your tough thing that you've gone through that's been very painful, and that kind of creates an energy of separation and maybe a feeling of rejection that's there. So this is coming up in what you need to release and getting back to the raw basics of things. And I definitely see you as able to do so. We have free spirit here, covered up her face a little. We have the free spirit. And she reminds me of like a tree, the way she is, you know. So some of you even finding your own, establishing your own family tree, or finding your own roots, finding a way to ground and root yourself and connect to your spirituality in a way that's empowering to you. The dagger reverse. So the dagger upright says conflict and danger lie in wait, but you're learning how to avoid those situations and how to disarm that situation and kind of untrigger yourself, which is very wise, and it takes a lot of work to do. We also have, but within all of this, we have this raw energy. We have this sexuality here that wants to come through. We have the heart guardian, love, and let yourself be loved. And we have this free spirit and this getting to know each other and believe the impossible once in the blue moon. So you definitely, some of you are like, man, am I just done? Like, am I just not meant to be loved? Am I just unlovable? That is not the case. If you came, you might have hit some very damaged people, you know, hurt people, some people who just did not want to properly connect, or you just were horrible and made horrible decisions and really hurt you. But the energy is saying, and your guides are here to say, that you are still lovable. They still believe in you, even if when you think it's impossible, you know, they're still here supporting you, which is beautiful. And they're saying, yeah, you need some, you know, spiritual spa time, and kind of to go get back out there and reinvigorate yourself. Now, for those of you who are in a particular connection, it might really be time to leave. When I'm seeing the 8 of Cups with the 3 of Swords and the dagger and the karma, the 10 of Cups reversed, this to me is really looking like the ending of a chapter and the beginning of something else, being redirected to another situation. So of course, everyone to their own timing. You'll have to see how that resonates with you. But unless this situation somehow, like if you're like, well, I've been married all these years, even then, this looks like something that you're really ready to go from, because it's what do you need to release. So I think there will be very few people that can truly rectify the situation in a way that's healthy for your spirits, and that everything is really kind of forgiven and healed and able to move on. But moving forward is very, very good. Again, there's this pause. So the silver waterfall, let's talk about this. This is basically kind of like Reiki energy. If you've ever drawn in silver light, silver energy, it's been called Elven Reiki, the Reiki of the elves. It's a very beautiful energy. This is silver waterfall is what they're suggesting as one of the meditations that you can do to kind of pour into through your crown chakra, through your body, to heal and get off the energy of others. And when I look at this, although it's encouraging you to embrace your sexuality, your sensuality, I'm seeing all these different mouths, all these different words, all these different, so you might have a lot that's in your energy field, especially if there was multiple people involved in the relationship with your permission or without, and just the energy of past relationships and people is just very much on you. And so it's good to do these kind of channeling and cleansing. Some of you, I'm getting, might feel be able to more easily connect to like drawing down the moon energy throughout yourself and letting that cleanse. Some of you, it could even be the energy of lightning that will help you cleanse. Thunderclaps and lightning, that's very powerful energy. Just think of how the air is cleared, all the ions in the air after a storm. So these are some of the ideas that they're giving me for meditation for you guys, to help you cleanse through. I'm also seeing lotus meditations, remembering that the lotus is this beautiful, pure, amazing flower, but it comes up through mud and muck and dirty waters and ponds and stuff before it blooms. I'm also seeing seeing the heart on fire here, and unfurling and just being very empowered, and we have the energy of the rose. So if any of those help you in meditation or in essence or energy, please do those to help you connect. Now moving forward, we have that they don't want you to just sit on your rear when it comes to relationships. They want you to get back to your free spirit, getting to know each other after you get to know yourself. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So they don't want you to hide this. If you're like, man, I'm trying to get out there, but all this stuff you're talking about, that was with my ex, that was my past. This is saying don't hide it. It's not saying you have to splurge it on someone the first time you meet, but this is saying no, like, your scars are a part of you. Some of you might physically have scars from things that you've been through. And this is saying, like, there's no shame in that. Every part of you is important. And I posted a quote on the Facebook of Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart. Please like and check it out if you haven't. I do a lot of astrology posts on there because I'm actually just as known for astrology as I am tarot. But there's a quote, and it said that basically at every point of its existence, like, the rose was still a rose. Before it had unfurled, before it was perfect, before it figured out how to bloom, it was still every bit as much of itself at every point of that time. And I think that's very important for you guys to know. It doesn't matter what you've been through or who you've been, or what sides of yourself you've seen. You've always been that ability to be this beautiful blossom, this beautiful person out in the world. It's in you, it's who you are, and it's okay to reclaim yourself. Even if you're like, well, I'm known for having the crazy relationships and this and this and this, it is time to let yourself free of that vibration. Some of you are ready to just put down these toxic, crazy, Harlequin and Joker relationships and get into something that is, real and deep, and would stop with the fake the toxicity and the danger. And it is totally okay to do that. This actually reminds me a lot of Mary Magdalene, right? She changed up her style and how she wanted to do, but she was still her. She still had all her wisdom, all her experiences, but she experienced a whole bunch of different vibrations. And I love that. And she has the Sacred Heart there in the rose. So it says, in order to awaken the world to the light, I must not be afraid to shine. So I really just want to encourage those of you who are afraid what other people will think. Maybe you haven't made the jump yet and you're like, yeah, but if I leave this relationship, what will people think? Maybe you've thought someone was your twin flame or something and you're like, man, I talked it up so much, and all the, YouTube community. I don't want to be embarrassed. It could be any degree of that. But here with the Eight of Cups, it's saying that there definitely are some emotional and spiritual connections to leave, and these cards up here confirming, and that you should feel free in doing so, and you should feel empowered sexually, you should feel empowered in your heart, empowered with the light you give spiritually, and not at all ashamed. Believe in the impossible. The blue moon is here. You're definitely still going to have an amazing relationship, and your heart is just growing and growing. Now I love this because we have and like just seeing lightning and hearing the song play, we have Dreams by Fleetwood Mac is your song. So you know everyone says that she's a witch, right? Stevie Nicks. So some of the quotes from this that I pulled out is dreams of loneliness. Some of you could be having some nightmares and have to try to get your mind to a better place. You might have really crazy intense dreams until you finally let go of this relationship. You might have dreams where you feel a little out of control, or you feel like it's untrustworthy, or someone's like after you, or those are usually the kind of weird dreams that we have if we have a toxic person in our life that we haven't released. So if that's coming up, pay attention to that in regards to this person, the one that's in the past or the one that you are needing encouragement to release. Players only love you when they're playing is one of the quotes from this. So some of you are like, yeah, but it was good that one time, but you really have to evaluate. And like I said, you have very serious guides. So they're very serious, and they're just kind of like, look, were they good, or were they a player who was good at playing, right? Playing the scenario. And that's I know that can be very tough to hear and very tough love, but you have very serious guides, so I'm going to deliver what they're saying. It says, now here you go again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? And then, you know, until we see that literally free spirit, this person wanting to leave and just releasing them and letting them go. And their actions might be what say that. Maybe they come back and say, oh no, let me back. And they want to continue the toxic cycle. But if their spirit and their energies are doing everything to push away and destroy and make this connection not healthy, then that is them saying that they want to go and to leave, you know? And then we have, now here I go again. I see the crystal visions. I keep my visions to myself. It's only me. And here I see this energy. And it's that feeling that just because you're solitary or alone doesn't mean you have to be lonely. You're seeing visions. You're seeing that blue moon. You're seeing this connection with your guides, finding yourself, your own free spirit, getting your beautiful cleansing here, you know, having your own, I'm sorry for the light, hopefully it will show up brighter than what I'm seeing right now on the screen. And you know, that's good. So they might not need to know all this spiritual stuff. I know it can be hard if you have a connection and they're not acknowledging that you have a soulmate connection. There's some Pisces and Scorpio energy. There's some Gemini here. Aquarius, like I said, it can be difficult not to just tell the person, well, I know we're soulmates and I'm so mad you don't remember our past lives, and I'm so mad you treated me this way, and I'm sick of it. You've been doing this for 36 lifetimes. I'm sick of it. But in this case, with this line here, it says, now here I go again. I see the crystal visions. I keep my visions to myself. It's only me. So just overall, there's an energy of release, but the energy that you are meant to be seen, that others are already wanting to get to know you, already having suitors over here, that you have a beautiful heart and a lot of passion, and that you're just a beautiful individual. You are, and that once in a blue moon time is going to come for you. So don't get discouraged. You're going to thrive and have a beautiful relationship. Right now you have some, clearing and cleansing, and that could be one day. You might have already done that during the video and you're done. It might be a few months, it might be a couple years, depending on what this relationship was for you, how the pace that you want to personally take. So I hope this was helpful on your way on this path, and that you connect with the beautiful energy that your guides and that I see in you right now. And please just, if you feel like sharing anything, if anything resonated, I always think it's good for people that chose the same group to kind of support each other and give a little shout out in the comments, and like, share, and subscribe and all that if you're interested. And there's a collective reading at the end that I'll do from all the guides for everybody if you're interested. All right, so I'll talk to you soon. And now we're going to go on to C. After I get all these cards up. All these cards. All right. Oh, no, it's not C, it's 3. They keep telling me I forgot. They're like, we told you. We want numbers, not letters. All right. So for those of you who chose, let's see, Cinnabar, and we have group 3. We have Transition, which is the Death card. This is, what do your spirit guides think about this connection, or just their advice on your love life? We have the 2 of Crystals, which is the 2 of Pentacles. We have the 5 of Crystals, 5 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, Unconditional Love, 3 of Swords reversed, 10 of Pentacles, Lovers reversed. We have the Sage. Y'all, your guys' group wanted the most cards, and your guys' group was definitely the like the old soul group. I'm gonna have to repeat that because I'm gonna do 2 timestamps for those who like to see all the cards put out and those who are like, just give me the reading. Oh, Drives Me Crazy by Fine Young Cannibals. You know that old school song? It's like a baby when I heard that. Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton. We have New Moon in Scorpio, Work Through Your Fears. I swear, y'all wanted so many cards. Don't Let Pride Get in Your Way, Full Moon in Leo. The Shield, You Are Protected from Harm. That's part of some obstacle energy. We have Passion. Passion. We had Celebration reversed. We have Moon phases. I'll just put that here sideways. I share my light with the world. Okay, only 2 more. The Yin Yang and Reparenting Yourself. Let's see. Okay, I thought I forgot a card, but I didn't. Okay, this is all of them, all these cards. What you gonna do with all these cards in your reading? Okay. I'm gonna stop. I must be feeling group 1 because they were wild. All right, so group number 3, your guides were like the old school, or the old soul feeling ones, like the oldest ones. They were also the largest group, and they wanted the most cards. They definitely had that feeling like they have been like the guys who have been most, like they've been doing that a long time without going and like incarnating into different things, and just been really working on their spirit guide game kind of energy. They also kind of hung around a bit more and were like, okay, you're gonna put this reading out now? I'm like, okay. So yes, go ahead and watch the beginning of the reading if you want to hear how I kind of connected and channeled in a bit more. Also, right after your reading, I'll be doing a collective from all the guys to everyone who watched, okay? All right, so getting into it, what do they think of this connection in your love life? Well, they're definitely trying to take you into a place of receptivity in your love life. Okay, we have Scorpio energy big here. We have some Gemini energy. We have Pisces and Capricorn and Leo very strongly. All right, and so they're saying that you're not being celebratory enough in life, and you're not having enough balance between work and your love life. And it's like you could be really good in the work field, you could be really good in love, but maybe you've been kind of mediocre at both because you're struggling, or you kind of like swing from one tandem to the next. Like you might be like, man, my career is amazing, I don't have a love life. When my love life's amazing, they ain't got a job. Well, what's going on? You know, so there's never that feeling that you might not feel like you've made it, or like you can truly celebrate, because you're feeling like, man, I feel like I'm always missing something though. What's going on? Now, some of you are still transitioning, and this is quite common in love readings, from a past relationship. We have the Lovers reversed with the 3 of Swords reversed, and we have the transition and the 5 of Pentacles here, which is the 5 of Crystals. Yeah, you might not feel like you have a lot of examples of stable relationships, or the parents or grandparents that you did have, or elders that you did have to look up to, maybe might be gone and passed on. Some of you, that might have been a big thing. There are some similarities a little bit within each of the readings here. You know, sometimes there's similar threads, so some of you might have chosen more than one reading. Although they're very different energies, there's some similarities between you and number 2, I think. in this regard. But this one really, really, when I was channeling in and sitting, you know, it's a lot and it's very long when I first channel in for these readings. And they were really talking a lot about people who have lost parents or grandparents that were significant, or spouse. So those were kind of the three very specifically, you know, spouse meaning anyone that you were, you know, very connected and committed to romantically. That being a big thing, and not knowing. Some of you might feel like, well, I don't want to get married because my father's passed. Who's going to walk me down? There's a big feeling of kind of being orphaned. And then when I pulled the cards for the oracle, this came out. It was like the last card of your reading, and so it was just them like really confirming, yes, that's what we were talking about, is that feeling of the loss of parents. Now some of you, they might still be alive, but it's just like they're really dead to you. They're, you know, that might have happened early and young, it might have happened more recently, but just that feeling of abandonment and not having a secure family base. But more than family, it's more like just that kind of elderly guidance and that relationship guidance that you're missing that could be there. Some of you, you know, maybe it's just they might support you in your other ways. You might be more connected to your family, but maybe perhaps because you want to date outside of your religion or your race or something, you would kind of lose that parental influence and that acceptance of your marriage. Some of you, it could be due to gender, you know, stereotypes, or, you know, not being non-binary or whatever it is. So there's different kinds of ways that we can kind of lose unfortunately, our parents or our grandparents, or those guidances in our lives. And so for some of you, it will be that, and you might be thinking, well, you know, who will I have to support me? I don't want to lose family and parents because of my connection. So, you know, it can be a variety of things, because this is a general reading, but the same energy vibe of not kind of knowing how to handle both. For some reason, that really intercepts your feeling of being unconditionally loved and really embraced, and really feeling like you can build up that family image in your head and picture your long-term security and being loved and creating your own family. Now some of you might already even be married and have your, you know, family and everything, but you might have some areas that are kind of hard for you, or hurt, or feel a little bit empty. And I do see a lot of you, you're very wise. You got the Sage, which made sense because you guys had like these really old soul it's so funny because I keep wanting to call them old soul, but I hear them saying old school. So like to us, they're like old soul guides, but to them they're like, yeah, we're old school. We've been around, we're old school. These kind of guides, you know. Now I do see the fact that they wanted to come through, those of you who did lose somebody, the fact that they wanted to come through in this reading with your guides coming forward lets me know that they are watching you. So if you needed confirmation that your you know, parent or loved one that you cared about would be blessing your union now, maybe you've already found someone else, or moving forward, if you do fall in love, that they will be present at your events, that they give the okay. We do have that energy coming here, and I don't feel like they want you to put things on hold or, you know, extend mourning for them. They want to really have that connection with you and support you. So for some of you, that might be only one person, but that's very significant that you know. Okay, so we have the need to balance your yin and your yang, your kind of your, you know, the parent and the inner child in yourself, and very much, sorry for the cord, I just don't want this to die during your reading. And for some of you, it's like, again, that work romance balance. The Two of Pentacles is very much connects to like our business and pleasure. Like what's that look like? Again, some of you are definitely Capricorns, and so you're like, oh gosh, like, you know, how do I balance this relationship? Some of you are Pisces, right? So you're all in the romance stuff, that's good, but then, oh shoot, I have to actually like live and exist and provide a living. So it can be so hard to go between both. We have Scorpio and Leo here. They can have similar issues, those two energies, because Scorpio can definitely be very deep and soulmate and all this kind of stuff, and Leo is very, you know, outgoing and social. So there's just, you have a lot of dualities within yourself, and a lot of you know, like I said, there's Gemini. Some of y'all are Gemini, so you already know. It's trying to figure out how to harness them, and the key here is that we have passion. You have to find the passion that you have for all of these things. So what is it like? If I feel like if you find what you're passionate about to do with your career, you will naturally open up and allow the passion that you have for your love life. So even if you're already married and you've been trying to go through all of these things and stick it out with each other, but it's been very tough, or maybe one of you is going through unemployment or something and you're on the edge of just letting it all go because it's too much, there's the energy like, well, what are you passionate about? Instead of just trying to get any job just to fulfill the financial requirement on your side for the marriage, what is it that you're truly passionate about? And really do it. Put that unconditional love into it, build into it, and it will naturally take off, and that will help unfurl your passion. Now, you definitely haven't lost it. We have Drives Me Crazy by Flying Young Cannibals, which I love the song. There's certain songs when you hear them that you have to purposely kind of sing slightly bad or cornily on purpose. Like Alanis Morissette is one of those, like you just put it on with your girls and you're just like sing it slightly horribly, you know, because it's just so fun because it's like a unique voice she has. And for me, Flying Young Cannibals is one of those where you just like do it with your fake falsetto and don't even care if it's, you know, particularly on pitch because it's so fun. So it's that song, is it from the 80s? I think it might be from the 80s, I'm not sure, early 90s, where it's like, she drives me crazy like no one else, she drives me crazy and I just can't control myself, right? So it's just like, it just says, people say I'm obsessed, you know, just going on and on. We have Scorpio here, so some of y'all, you're obsessed. You're obsessed. They drive you crazy. Some Scorpios are in love with Leo. Some Leos are in love with Scorpios. You might have Leo and Scorpio in your chart and be in love with a Pisces with Gemini, or Pisces with Capricorn. There's all kinds of stuff going on here. Now with your partner, you really have to be able to celebrate each other. And speaking of Leo, right? So some of y'all might be with like a Leo, for example, and just be like, oh, like why, like maybe you're having a tough time and they're doing better and you're just like, oh, I'm tired of you. Like, why do I always have to celebrate yourself? Like, gee, you know, it's like you can just get a little too close for comfort sometimes. And if you feel unbalanced, other people, you know, glowing up can feel annoying and things like that. And so this is just like, no, you still drive this person crazy. You still have it. Don't worry about that. You also have Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton, and in that song he's talking about, he's not actually talking about drinking himself, but he's talking about this person being like, you know, being as smooth as this drink, or, you know, comparing it to all these good qualities of all these like classic liquors and stuff. And so, you know, you're like Tennessee Whiskey, which is like a cool, you know, on brand thing for him as a senior. So it's like you fit this person, you're their cup of tea or their cup of whiskey, right? You drive them crazy. And if you're looking for a person, like, you're gonna find that you have unconditional love here. You pull in a variety of different energies. You might have someone who has a very diverse astrology chart. They might not be like all one sign. I see a lot of signs here. And they're going to have their own complexities. Maybe their sun and moon are square like these signs here, or in polar opposites, or they just got Gemini moon and that does it all. And so the energy here is, you know, you might get a little worried when you don't know exactly what someone is, or if they're not the exact same thing all of the time. So going back now, building on kind of those abandonments and those fear of loss from the past. So you might be like, no, 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 but who are you? And it's like, well, I'm the person that loves you. Hi. You know, and they're just like, you know, come on, let's be in love. And you're like, no, 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 no. But who are you? You know, I need to know. I need to know now who you are for the rest of our lives. And even if that potential is here, because we got this beautiful Ten of Cups, we have the Ten of Pentacles here, you are just might be like, no, like, I don't know how to do this, because the obstacle is you have the fear, the shield, that you are not safe from harm, right? So this is the shield, being safe from harm, but this is the obstacle that the guides wanted to bring up to you, something that is preventing you from, you know, feeling fully open in your romantic relationships. So, and here's, you just have the energy of changeability. You have changeability within yourself. We have the many phases of the moon. We got the blue moon, the red moon, the white moon, the super moon, all the phases of the moon, right? The moon. So yeah, you don't just get moon, you get moon, right? So I think that that's going to be reflected in your partners, and it's not to actually make you crazy, but it's just because you might have a lot of mutability in your chart. You can just handle it, and it's meant to be passionate and exciting. It's not meant to be unstable. I think it's also because your soul wanted to experience a lot. You're someone who comes from a lot of unconditional love. You can understand a variety of energies. So maybe you're an astrologer too, or you like, so you Whereas other people would need to follow traditional compatibility because they couldn't respect, you know, someone whose signs are very different from theirs. You're very open in things, and you can understand all being multifaceted or having a lot of duality. And so your spirit guides are bringing you people who reflect that energy, because they're like, no, y'all can be in love. You know how to do this. But because of these things that they want to highlight here and talk about, you're like, no, 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 I don't think we can. No, sir, no, thank you. So the sage is here, which showing some research, showing, you know, finding the beauty. He has the peacock the peacock finger. Oh my gosh, I don't know what that means, but the peacock feather. Maybe some of you have like a tattoo of peacock on your finger. That's what I just saw, or your nails or something. It'll be significant. We have be devoted and committed, and it's very natural because he's writing it there on the leaf. And so, you know, this is just reminding you that this is all like about experiencing and experimenting and learning how to love. Like, that's what I see. We have the sage under the unconditional love card. It's just learning how to break down the barriers in love. And I see that with the lovers reversed and some of these really tough transitions that you've been through and you've put, in a way, I would say put yourself through. I'm not saying what anyone's done that's horrible is okay or right, but what I'm saying is your soul also at the same time was open to certain of those, not probably all of them if you've been treated very horribly, but to certain experiences of going through the heartbreak, or, you know, maybe trying to date two people at one time, or like you wanted to experience a variety of relationships when you were planning to come down, and you really wanted to try that. And like basically you just have a lot of love, and it's like, I share my light with the world. You know, passion is your card, like unconditional love. Like, yeah, I've incarnated, you know, 7,000 times. I can do this. I just want to experience. And then you got here and you're like, oh this hurts a lot more than I remembered it hurting. Oh man, like, and I gotta pay bills too while I'm doing all this. Oh no, like what? And I forgot, you know, all these other issues I was gonna have, all these family dynamics. Oh man, you know, so now you're just kind of like, why? What did I do? Why did I do this? Why am I incarnated on this planet? Kind of drive yourself crazy that way. So here is just about putting it back together, putting your spirit self with your incarnated self, putting your, you know, really romantic, you really do have like incredible, you know, it might be a hidden romantic or hopeful romantic side to yourself, with that side of you that can just be like, yeah, I'm a leader, make money, because you have that too. So it's just about balancing and understanding. I think it's just understanding, accepting, remembering during this reading, you are allowed to have all those different parts of yourself. You're no less spiritual, you're no less loving, you're no less responsible for embracing your full self and allowing others to do it. Others have light and dark, right? We have the Leo and the Scorpio here. Others have night and day. They have sun and moon, and that's good. In Reiki, right, you look for sun, moon balance and energies like that too. You have root and to crown. So it's all very good. So it's like, let yourself celebrate a lot more. Know that your loved ones who have passed over are connected with you. Be okay if you have to make decisions to shut out, you know, parental or elderly figures in your life if they have become toxic. And know that you are definitely capable of reparenting and kind of re-loving those parts of yourself. Now, some of you, I do see you getting mentors or people who have that energy coming in. And it's when you're in a place of love, because your guides don't want to bring in, you know, let you allow people in if you're still in that upset kind of broken stage, because it's not exactly the right fit. Not to say that you'll be like 100% healed, but you know what I mean? Like when people have gone through situations like that is when they get a lot of fake leaders, right? Like fake gurus and fake psychics. So if you feel anything off from the person that you're trying to get mentorship from, that's not them, especially if they're a spiritual guru. This will be a very, you know, humble, very truthful person. There won't be just any ethics questions or anything around them, and you'll just know. And that I do see you as having a person that will come in and provide that nurturing and guidance in the physical realm. But keep going, like accepting and working on that side of yourself as well, that needs love from the past, right? Because time is relative in a way. So yourself back then can still feel love that you're giving it now. and I think that's important. You have amazing prospects in the future. For those of you who are still looking for a marriage partner or long-term companion, that looks great here. If you're looking at, you're like, well, I just want to focus on family for now, that looks good. Any long-term plans that are your heart's desires now and your practical concerns look really, really good. Remember to let yourself be seen and that you are protected and guided, and have fun, because this song is fun. It drives me crazy. It's just fun. It's, I don't know, you'll feel silly, put it on, dance around, and remember that you have passion, right? We're working through our fears, and don't worry about being prideful or being too self-conscious, right? Have a good time, and you have that unconditional love. So I hope that resonated and was some good medicine for your heart, and there's some things that you can take away from it. Please feel free to connect with each other, comment synchronicities and things down below, and I will talk to you soon, probably right now when I do the collective part for everyone. Hi y'all, so it is way later in the day. I went to sleep, it was my night, because the video had cut off, the first part y'all just got to watching, at like an hour, and it, like, my phone died and it disappeared, and I was like so upset, y'all. I was like, guys, what's going on? I was like calling them out, like, look, this is what we're not about to do. I'm so tired of this. Video's been disappearing on Mercury retrograde. I'm tired. Mama's tired. I'm going to sleep. I've done checked every way I can to look behind the scenes, you know, all the back doors of my phone and computer for this video. I'm done. Y'all need to find that video because I'm not recording all of that again. And then I woke up and the whole video, the whole 60-minute video was just sitting there on my phone, just in plain sight, where I already looked a bajillion times. And so it hadn't been there. It just reappeared back on my phone. And so I was like, okay, guys. So I think I just need to tell y'all that, because, you know, sometimes, I mean, we definitely have to respect our spirits. Don't get me wrong. You know, you play with the wrong spirits, they'll be like, excuse you. But, you know, some spirits are feisty. It's kind of like dealing, you know how like it is with fire signs, where they're like, well, you didn't say anything, so I just, you know, let it slide, or I just did what I wanted to do. Sometimes you do have to be like, look, spirit, I'm gonna do the work, but you need to do your work too. Like, you're not showing up right now. I need you to do what you're supposed to do. So I just felt to share that with you guys and let you know, especially some of the guys were pretty ornery, you know, in this reading throughout. So that's just to let you know. Call them on their stuff, let them know what you need, be, you know, upfront, forthright with them, and you'll be surprised. I've even seen that with angelic energy sometimes, where I'm like, look, that's it, you know. I need this done now, and then all of a sudden it's accomplished, like boom. Like, I think some of them just like to be impressive, especially if they have a little bit of that like warrior protective energy to them. Like, they like to just be impressive about something. So just so y'all know, some little tools in your spiritual toolkit. All right, so before this cut off again, okay, let's do the collective reading for all the spirit guides. It's a real good mix. I did have a lot of fun doing this reading too, don't get me wrong. All right, so we have all these cards here. We have the Ace of Cups, we have the Star reversed, we have sexuality, sacred journey, give your relationship a chance, calling wild, which is a card of Mercury. We also have when I've overshared, I simply say, wait, why am I talking? So definitely some of you guys were doing too much, talking too much, messaging the wrong people during Mercury retrograde, or maybe you just started reminiscing too much to yourself or to your friends, and you just embarrassed now, like, dang, why did I go down X memory lane? Why did I even open up those fantasies? That was wrong. Like, I got myself on a bad vibe level now. Like, you got winter, take care of your needs. It's like, okay, let me dial it back. Got a little crazy during Pisces and Aquarius season, I'm seeing here for some of y'all. Let me get this together. We have the Harlequin, true feelings are masked, which is interesting because I had said in one of the readings that, I think it was number 2, that you guys were done with that Joker and Harley Quinn kind of relationship, and that like toxic, you know, trying to make it seem glamorous to have this toxic, crazy relationship. And we have the Harlequin here. The time for healing with the balsamic moon, and we have this little song I heard on Pandora, Girls by AJ Mitchell. So definitely it's just, you know, reminding you guys, like always, for those of you who are with people who are, you know, ratchet or fuck boys, or, you know, whatever you want to call them, this is like let it go, because it's like this person, these people, that's just the zone they're in. That's who they're being right now. There's no change coming. It's like, don't be disillusioned. Even, some of you are disillusioned by that thing, you know what I'm saying? And you forget yourself and you send that text, or you just like, oh look, they're on Tinder too, let me just, and you get sucked right back down that rabbit hole. Dun, 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 dun. Right? And you're like, oh, let me just, this is who I'm supposed to give a chance. No, it's not who you're supposed to give a chance. It's not even who you're supposed to give that poom poom to anymore. Okay. There's new relationships coming up. So if you've been dealing with that, round in circles, toxic person, that ghosting person, that, wait, since when are you like that person? That person who's different every time you see them, or every person that you meet that has met this person has a different version of them, and you're just like, who are you? That's not the person. Now we have some healing. We have a time for healing with the moon and a woof under it. Take care of your needs. So some of you guys have, didn't use the time of winter to really take care of yourself, or you're just not done really nurturing on yourself and kind of getting things back in order in that way. So it's encouraging you to remember that mindset of winter, when you're, we hole up and we're taking care of ourselves a little bit more, or we're at least trying to rest, or we're kind of forced to by weather a lot. And for some of you, I know it wasn't winter on your side of the world, but it's just that idea of, preparing yourself, taking care of yourself. Like when you're preparing for winter, you don't have time to be worrying about. Yes, when you're preparing for winter, you don't have time to be worried about Joe Bear down the street and what they're doing, what's going on with their nuts and their berries. Okay? There's just no time for it. And so it's kind of getting back into that mindset like, look, I got to get mine in my life. I need to take care of my health, my, zone. I need to take care of my heart. And that's a good place to be in, and not about everyone else's, right? I do see the need to take care of yourself sexually too. Your sexual health for everyone watching is very, very important, because here we have all different kinds of genders kind of represented in this, all right? All different kinds. And we have the Ace of Cups here that wants you to be healthy. Ace of Cups is a good energy for reaching that orgasm and having like just a healthy sexual relationship and release. And these are, physical things as human beings that our bodies do, that here, even getting to the point that you can work on that Kundalini journey, whether that's alone or with others or however. And we have this card here of sexuality and wanting to blossom into that and kind of take that into your own power. So there's beautiful, like, I'm always like, it's beautiful energy, but there's always a silver lining. And so it's always beautiful energy to me, but that's really good. And so it's about getting someone that is like safe partners, and just like, some of you are like, people are like, oh, the only people who are good in bed are the crazy ones or something. Like some of y'all have been having that mentality, or like, oh, to prove that I'm good in bed, I have to be crazy. I have to be this basket case and do all this. Or it's like, no, right? Now you might have different preferences or kinks or, expressions in the bedroom. That's different. But to think that you have to be unhinged and it has to be this crazy third party relationship and we almost died driving here and all of this kind of thing. It doesn't have to be that way in order to, find someone who is decent in bed, more than decent here, and to reach that energy yourself. And I think a lot of you, it's just getting to the point that you want to have someone you're emotionally connected to in a positive way when it comes to your relationships. And that's what's really being spoken from your guides. Now the interesting thing is, though, I am seeing a bit of role play. I am seeing you guys experimenting more with how you want to appear to others. So maybe your ascendant in astrology. Ascendant is something that shows kind of how we were in childhood in a way, but quite often it's an energy that other people see in us that we don't quite know how to use at first. And we're like, no, like, your ascendant in astrology is where you're like, man, people see me as this way and I don't know why. Like Virgos will be like, man, people always think I'm super mean. Virgo rising, sorry. They think that I'm all this and this and this, and it's like, well, you have Virgo rising, right? So there's that resting face, right? Or there's like Scorpio risings. They're usually targeted when they're kids, and people either think they're a bully or try to bully them and take them out because they see them as being very powerful, or they get sexualized very young. So we can have this projected perception that others catch our ascendant and they do what they want with that energy, right? And so I see the advice here being, if you want to like really catapult your personal life and relationship, you have to start owning that energy. And you say, well, no, I'm a Scorpio rising. This is how I'm going to work this energy. This is what I want to do with that energy. And you can't say nothing about it. Like, this is how I rock that energy for me. I'm seeing this very true for Scorpio, Gemini, Virgo, and Aries risings especially. So really kind of taking control of that, reclaiming it. I see Aquarius, Pisces, Scorpio, and Gemini energy be very strong in this reading here, Virgo as well. But I'm sure there's signs of everybody watching. Yeah, that's a big key for you, is deciding when you want to appear how, and knowing that you can and it can still be authentic. Like if you want to, even changing up your style, you might be like, man, I don't even know how to do it. Like different times in my life, I was kind of repping different scenes and I don't know how to just fully express who I am. And I feel like I have to be stuck in a certain role to get a certain partner. Because that's what all of those dating books and stuff say, you know, they're like, there's different dating books. Like if you want to be a gold digger kind of person, you have to act exactly like this. If you want to be this type, a housewife, you have to act exactly like this. And I feel like a lot of you are like, man, can I just do me? Like, shoot, I want to be dressed in leather, head to toe, tight as hell one day, and then I want to wear a little yellow flower dress. Like, can I live? And so that's a lot about unfurling and finding your own style and, you know, expressing that. Because if you can't acknowledge all of that within yourself, how can you meet a partner who can hit all those, you know, different notes in your composition? You know, it can't happen. So the Ace of Cups allows all creativity, all, you know, positive, and of course this is all consenting adult relationships here, all, you know, inspiration and positive sexual energy and flow to just come through, right? Just come through, and to be okay with that yourself and with others. Now here, some of you might be afraid of a bit of social interaction and what people around you think or judge regarding your sexual or romantic life. And I feel like this is something that is not for you to worry about. It's just really not something, your guides are like, don't even worry about that. A lot of those people are fake, or they don't even know their own truth. So even though it's hard sometimes, it's their advice is like, well, don't tell them so much, you know, just a little bit. We'll stop talking to them. Don't let them know your business then if you know they're like that, because if they're fake to themselves, how are they going to be true to you? All right, so that's a big meditation for a lot of people. I get some Libra energy too. Some of you are Libras. That's hard for you, I understand, but it's just remember that if they're fake to themselves, how can they be true to me? And they don't know you. Now we have inspiration, and I love that we have inspiration here in this icing, and we'll read that in a minute. But we also have inspiration dropping down. So when I read for guides, one thing that I notice is they'll reverse cards when they're talking about energies they're sending from them to us. And the star card is a card I get for guides a lot, like to show that the guides are like, hey, we're here, we want to talk. And so this is literally downloads of inspiration that they're giving you. So don't block that out. They're like, look, we're telling you, we're giving you the sweetener. We're giving, oh, that's so funny, because what's her face has an album Sweetener and she's upside down on it. But I'm not saying she's a guide or anything, because, you know, but anyways. It's like so much energy coming through so quickly. Yes, so they're giving you these downloads, they're giving you the information you need, they're giving you inspiration. They're going to let you know, bam, talk to that person, bam, bam, bam. They're going to let you know, like, boom, you need to go have a healthy sexy time right now, do it. Like, you know, and they are like really talking about sexual health and you know, healing, time to heal that, to reclaim that for yourself. Again, you know, focus on claiming your energy and growing your energy and vibration to the healthiest, most positive, happy, pleasurable energy you can, and just releasing everybody else's energy. Even people you're in a loving relationship with, you don't need their energy all up in your stuff. You know what I mean? It's healthy to do that, because then otherwise you start building up codependent energies and you guys feel like things are missing, but the other person's holding your energy. So that's good to do, is really work on growing your own connection in these ways, your own heart energy and your own sacral chakra especially. Now we also have a lot of throat chakra here, communicating your desires and needs. I see friendship being important, and you are going to have friends that are going to be ushered into your life a lot at this time. They're going to be people that you're like, oh my gosh, like you just feel inspired as soon as you start connecting with them, and you're like, wow. You might feel like you instantly are like, oh yes, let's work on this project, let's do this, you know. Or there's just, you know, and a lot of times probably with these interactions, you guys are just going to feel very complimentary of each other, because Ace of Cups is very much like Venus. So you might feel like, oh my god, you're so beautiful, shout out, I love your channel, you know, or I love the work you're doing, or, you know, whatever it is. There's going to be a beautiful energy there, but it's going to be genuine and not like this. That's why it's like, let go of that fake kind of stuff that's happened in the past, because you're going to have the real stuff coming through. It says, come to me, sisters, come together, or come together. Yeah, there's trouble to brew, summoning and crying out loud. So for those of you who've really been calling in, you know, a healthy sexual partner, a good partnership, and friend groups, that's definitely coming in. And for some of you, it's going to be for once having friends you can trust around your partner. And I think that's important. Now I see, give your relationship a chance. And so I think when you connect with this partner that's coming in, or if you have a healthy partner and you've just been gun shy because of this other stuff, or because they had, you know, things in the past, or they've had a lot of partners in the past, this person, if you will know, because they won't be about that stuff. They won't be about their crazy toxic partner. They won't let it derail them. They won't be involved in it. You know, so just somebody having gone through something, we can't judge that, because we've all had crazy partners, right? Maybe some of you haven't, and you're like, no, I never have, and so I don't want. But the thing is, most of us have gone through that. I'm just thinking of this comedian, but it's crude. So she said that everybody gets used, you know what, right? It's very rare that someone that isn't used when you start interacting with them sensually, sexually, right? So it's just like letting people be, and not allowing that to like be something like, oh, I'm going to fixate on that because I don't feel whole and broken, so I'm going to fixate on your exes and your whatever, and I'm going to judge you by who you've been with in the past. Now, it's good to kind of take a little look, you know, because if you have someone who's like, oh, all my exes are crazy or something like that, come on now. That's like red flag, fuckboy 101, right? But I'm seeing that a lot of you actually are having the chance right now and are on the precipice of a really good relationship that's very beautiful. And so it's like, work on it. You better work, right? Sorry, all up in your screen. You know, work it out. And for some of you, it's sexually. Maybe if you don't click right away sexually with a partner, you're like, throw the whole thing away, right? And you're running over to someone who ain't good, but they're good in bed. So there's a lot of things they want to say about this whole dynamic. Give the relationship a chance. Also, it's like, find the balance between listening to your friends but also not listening to your friends' wounds. Okay, so a lot of times, you know, we can be so blinded to what our friends say. When we're in a toxic relationship, we'll defend that person, but then when we're in a positive relationship, we'll take any excuse of advice that's maybe be a little off that our friends say to run from that positive connection, because it's work and it hurts more to lose something that could be real, right? So it's saying, kind of, you know, watch that, recalibrate that, and look at where you and your friends are coming from when you sit there and you have your talks about, you know, your relationship and you're trying to figure things out. Again, watch talking about your relationship with people that don't even need to know. All right, but I really see that some of you haven't even begun to be as fulfilled sexually and spiritually and emotionally in relationships as you can be, and just a beautiful joining. And I see a healthy balance of energy. So if you have had a big imbalance of, you know, feminine, masculine, or, you know, any of the divine energies. It's not just feminine and masculine. There's the divine transgender, the divine non-binary. There's divine everything. It's all energy. And so if that's been an issue for you, it's kind of finding your niche, or, you know, maybe you've been someone who, you know, you've had issues with being abused by a certain gender, and so that vibration of that is hard for you to open up with and trust in your relationship. I see there being room for everything and getting that kind of fixed, you know. So the easy example is like someone who they say has father issues, and that energy is tainted and it bleeds into your relationship, for example. I see you finally being able to heal that energy out and find kind of the unique mix of where that falls into your relationship and where that is healed within you, and having a partner who positively exhibits that energy. So whichever energies you've been needing to work on, you know, that's why it's like you're close. Just keep on taking care of yourself, keep on believing. You're going to have healing downloads come down, especially those of you who had, I don't know if it was number 2 or number 3 that had the silver waterfall meditation. That's a similar energy here. All right, so let me just see. There's a lot of messages. I could just talk on and on. Yeah, give your partner a chance to speak to and communicate. Again, we're completely removing the ones who are just toxic. We don't know them. We Mariah Carey don't know them. Who are they? But the good ones, you know, hear them, you know, communicate with them. Make sure that they know it's okay to talk to you about sexual things, to talk to you about, you know, their version of what they want in a relationship and their plans, because we can very easily go into shutting down our partner, right? And that fear that we have that we can't have what we want or not have the ending we want. So if you are more progressed in your relationship, try to, you know, dial it back and see, do you listen as much as you communicate? Is your partner truly able to speak, or do they just get fed up eventually and then say, hey, my way? So a balance of communication. All right, and I think that is all for now, and I hope you enjoyed the reading. It was fun to make. It's long, I know, but I hope that you enjoy it, because there was so many spirit guides here that came through, and so I thank them. I'm grateful for that. And so please like, share, subscribe, comment, show some love on the video, and I will talk to you soon.